Craftin' buddies. It's Lori, late night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Wisconsin in the United States, trying to multitask. So, late night Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. I need to get my devices set up here and make sure that we have sound. We do. Woohoo! And let me get my other device up. And we will get going. Maybe. There we go. So, welcome. We are going to pretend that it's Wednesday, March 18th at 11:59 p.m., give or take 7 minutes. I was cleaning up from my coffee and a card and prepping for my Thoughtful Thursday class. Coffee and a card today was awesome. We had a nice group and made a quilted card. Let me see if I have it handy. So here's what we did for our coffee and a card today. One of the women that joined in today is a friend of mine, and she is a quilter. So when she let me know that she was going to join us today, I thought I would do a quilted themed card. So I think everybody had a good time. I know I did. It's fun getting together with a bunch of like-minded crafting people, right? So let's just do a couple of quick announcements. All things Stampin' Up! There's a lot of new things coming up. So watch my website, latenightLori.stampinup.net. You can watch for all the updates, specials that are coming up, new products are coming up, kits getting released. There's going to be online exclusives coming up in May. There's going to be a bunch of stuff. New catalog in May. And of course you can shop with me. But we have a virtual album retreat that just became available for purchase on March 18th. I put in my order. I'm super excited. This is going to be a 10 spread, 10 spread album, 2 pages each. I think that's the verbiage for it. I wasn't a memory keeper or a scrapbooker, but I did the retreat last year in 2025 when they did it, and I really enjoyed myself. I learned a lot of new techniques that I didn't think were possible with scrapbooking. So we've got all the layout previews here. Stampin' Up! Did a video today with Karen Pedersen, and she kind of went over some of the things as well. And last night when I looked at this for the live here on YouTube, I was looking through all of the things that it includes. So there's 2 stamp sets, designer series paper, 2-tone cardstock, and all of the cutting guides are printed on the back. So the designer series paper usually that Stampin' Up! Has is normally 2-sided. For the retreat, it's just 1-sided, so you can see all the numbered items on the back so you know what project it goes with. There's pre-printed images and stickers. There's embellishments that include linen thread, a golden glow shimmer brush. This is a brand new product. It'll be coming out in the May catalog, so you'll be able to see and get this before it actually gets released. There is a white gel pen, another brand new product. There will be memory protectors. You might be able to see those here. Some flip-flaps, and then the photo placeholders. So it has a lot. Yes, it is it's a high price point item, but it's 3 days between 7 and 8 hours a day of crafting. One day is going to be 4 2-page spreads. The other 2 days are going to be 3 2-page spreads. So a little less intense than the last one. But you get more things because some of these other things we didn't get some of those products last time. And there's embellishments. I think I said that. Yes, embellishments. All right. So that is something I'm really looking forward to. So the retreat itself is going to be April 29th, April 30th, May 1st. May is actually like National Scrapbooking Month or something. So May 2nd, I think, is the Saturday, and that's like scrapbooking day or something. I don't know. But Mountain Time, it's going to run from 2 until 9. So that means our time here in the Midwest will be from 3 to 10. But if you purchase this, if you're local to me, we can do a watch party either in the studio, depending on how many people there are, or we'll find another venue if there's too many of us to fit in here. And if you're not local to me and you purchase it, we might still be able to Zoom it and kind of do it together as a group. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Product of the month is available now with your qualifying purchase. So in the US, it's a $75 purchase before tax and shipping, but after any discounts that you have. Once you reach that threshold, you'll be notified that you are eligible for the product of the month. You can only get it one time. All right. And when they're gone, they're gone. But it is really this cute Notes of Spring 2-step stamping set. So I'm looking forward to playing with that in the near future. And then just a reminder too, we've got 2 catalogs that are on their way out. These both end May 4th. Yep, May 4th, they both end. So some of the things that are starting to go out of stock may not come back if they're going to be discontinued items, if they're not going to carry over into the next catalog. The old in colors, the 2024 to 2026 in colors, the Petunia Pop, the, yeah, why did I forget those names? Petunia Pop, Shy Shamrock, Peach Pie, Pretty in Pink, and the blue one. I don't remember what the blue one is. Summer Splash. All right, so those are all outgoing colors. So if those are colors that you do not have in your collection, you want to add to your collection, you might want to get them now if they're not already sold out. Once they sell out, they will not be restocked, all right? Because all things new are coming, including a new catalog format, all right? Stampin' Up! Is going to 3 catalogs. Hello, Allie. They're going to 3 catalogs a year. They will not overlap. So currently we've got a year-long annual catalog, and then we have 2 mini catalogs. So the annual catalog goes from May until the end of April typically. And then there's a mini catalog that runs September to December, and then there's another one that runs from January to the end of April, early part of May. So they're now going to be just 3 standalone catalogs that don't overlap. So January to April, May, June, July, August, and then September to December. They will be about the same size each time, which is 85, 90 pages-ish. And that might be adjusted depending on how the product spreads are in them. But I'm really looking forward to the new catalog because you're not going to have a catalog that's overshadowed by a new one that comes in. We're still going to have online exclusives, and there are still going to be products that will last for a whole year, all right? So Stampin' Up! Has kind of given us an announcement of what suites and bundles are going to carry over for a year. So if there's something that you want to keep using throughout the year instead of, buying all the latest, greatest things, you're going to have that opportunity, all right? So my paper pumpkin kits came yesterday. So Allie, guess what we're going to do? We're going to do a paper pumpkin kit because I need one more card for my Thoughtful Thursday group. And I thought this kit would work quite well. So March is an anniversary year for Paper Pumpkin. So with an anniversary year, that means that we get an extra stamp set. So this is the one that goes with the kit. So it's just got foliage pieces on it. So there's foliage. This one has like some little, almost like flower buds at the end. And there's some floral images here. And then some leaves, I think that's supposed to be. And then just some dots, some random dots. And then the add-on one has hummingbirds and some cute sentiments on here. You got yours out of the mailbox today. Awesome. So this one's got hello. Did you open it yet, Allie? So hello, wishing you a happy anniversary, and birthday wishes. So this is going to be very versatile. There's an itty bitty little flower here, a lot of like splatter, and then a couple of hummingbirds. We're not going to use this one for the kit. The ink spot that comes with is basic gray, so I did pull out a full-size basic gray in case we use it. We might not. We'll see. We'll see. But when I demonstrate, it's just easier for me to use a larger size pad along with my larger size block rather than a paper pumpkin block. And then I save my ink spots. And when I have like new people and they might not have all the colors, I will oftentimes give up my ink spots and share them with my new folks. All right, so these kits always come so nicely packaged. You know, it's like you're getting a gift. And I can usually keep this tissue paper because you can use it for other things. All right, and the boxes are really good too. A lot of times, I don't know, Allie, if you ever reuse your boxes to ship things out, but a lot of times what I do, and I did show it one other time, is I turn my boxes inside out. And then you just have a brown box for shipping. And you can put a label on it, so if you need to send out a small gift or something, you've got a box all handy, ready to go. All right, so let's get this open. Now, I do get multiple kits each month. This month, because of my class, tomorrow I will probably not do alternatives with this one. Hello, Yuda. Yeah, you may as well turn the boxes inside out and use them, right? So here's our instructions, and here's our stamp set images, so that you know that you've got everything. And I usually cut these apart, and I used to put them in a stamp case or a sleeve. With the new stamp case designs, I'm not sure exactly what I'll do. I may just put them all in sleeves now. I don't know. I need to do better at cataloging the things that I keep, because I do have a tendency of keeping my paper pumpkin kits. But then it's so much searching when I have to try to find a certain sentiment that I knew was in one of the kits, because I don't have them well cataloged. So one of these days I'll figure it out. Maybe. I've tried a couple of like inventory programs, but I don't keep up with them. I do really good initially, and then it falls by the wayside because I have other things that I would rather be doing. All right. So our instructions, when you open it up, you see all of the separation of what pieces go with each card, and then we've got our instructions for card 1, 2, and 3. So I have some of these already separated, but I'm going to show you what we get. So the envelopes are all the same, and I think this is probably Coastal Cabana, a tint of Coastal Cabana, so like stamped off maybe, but they're all printed with the floral imagery in white. And then we have all of our little punch outs. And you know, I usually like to punch these all out ahead of time and sort them as I go. So we will just do that, and I will just push these off to the side so I don't have a whole lot of things in the way of our crafting. Do you get paper pumpkin kits or not? I know Allie does. Allie is a mega paper pumpkin person because she does like 30 cards out of every kit. There are a number of demonstrators that do that. I know Rachel Tessman. I used to watch hers a lot, and I just got so many ideas and I never did them all. So now I just don't have time to watch so many others, but I know there's several that, there's probably many that I don't even know about that do mega projects with their kits, which is great. But then you also have mega cards, and if you don't have a place to distribute your cards, then what do you do with all the different card varieties? So, you know, if you've got like nursing homes or memory care centers, those would probably be good places to donate them. You could always sell them if you've got a venue to sell cards at. All right, so I really like the font on these. All right, so then we basically have two different card bases. So there's 6 that are plain, and then there's 3 that have a circle on them. I don't know why they decided to put the circle on. Maybe so it's easier to stamp the design. That's probably it, so you know exactly where to go. That would make sense. So I'm going to go ahead and punch these little pieces out as well. Now this little sentiment hat, or this little box has "Have a beautiful Mother's Day." So that'll go like so. And there's some little banners that will go behind that sentiment according to the instructions. So I already peeked on one of my kits. And then this thank you is pretty bold, but I really like the fonts. Read your comments. You love the stamps, the envelope, the images. Sad the envelopes are just plain. Well, the envelopes aren't really plain because you've got the imagery on there. You could always add some, you know, ink blending or something to snazz them up a little bit. But I think what this is designed to give us a peek of is the new gel pens, because you're going to be able to do some really fun stuff with your gel pens. Where else do I want to color? So I think that's supposed to be kind of that imagery appearance. Now this is not a Stampin' Up! Gel pen, it's just a white gel pen that I have, but they're probably very much the same as the ones that Stampin' Up's going to have. So you just kind of get a sneak peek as to how it's going to look. So Yuda, when they first did Paper Pumpkin, the cards were smaller. Oh, and see, I'm trying to think. Oh, the card bases are plain. Oh, I get it. I thought you meant the envelopes. Silly me. But at least you know you can kind of dress those up. See, I didn't subscribe to Paper Pumpkin right away. Well, I take that back because I didn't join until 2017. And Paper Pumpkin had started before that. So I don't know exactly what they had. But when I joined, they were all the A2 size. All right, so we're going to do just a little something outside of the directions, I think, with these card bases, because I agree, they are kind of plain. I think the hummingbirds are supposed to add the pizzazz, which is fine, but it just seems like there should be something to elevate the cards a little bit. So I'm intending on doing some ink blending. Now, I was a little concerned because when you look at these cards, and let me zoom in just a little bit so maybe you can see some of the texture a little bit better. It looks like they're textured. So I'm thinking, okay, we're going to put this imagery on here and we're not going to get a good image, but they are very flat. And you probably still can't even see. But they have the appearance that they're textured. Yeah, you can see it in the camera if it stays in focus. But they're very flat. So the images are going to go on there quite nicely. Hello, Juju. How's your leg doing? All right, so we're going to do this card first. We need this stamp set, or this stamp rather. We need the circle that says, I am so grateful for you. In fact, I got a set of these all together already, and I forgot that I had done that. All right, so I'm going to set these off to the side, because I'm going to use some of these for my class tomorrow. All right. So we've got this one, I'm so grateful for you. We don't even have to stamp that verbiage, which is kind of nice. And then we've got our couple of hummingbirds. So one will go up here and one's going to go here. We're going to go ahead and stamp this image. And it's just got us doing it with the basic gray. So let me get my... Oh, you got your bug set. Yay! I am going to do a class. Did I show you? I think I showed the picnic basket and the cards. I'm going to do a class in April for those. They're so cute. All right, so let's put those hummingbirds off to the side. All right, so we're going to do... So there's a line with the stem that kind of follows the line on the card. Hopefully I have good imagery on here. What I probably should have done, and it's probably not too late. Oh, that looks good. But I could have put this in our Stampin' Positioner. But then when I turn it around, I'm not sure that the card is actually centered. So this one will go about here. All right, so I guess that went a little inside the circle, but that's all right. So I think what I want to do is I want to color some of these images, these foliage pieces, because they just look kind of plain to me. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to do just some ink blending with Old Olive. And let me get a piece of scrap paper here. I was surprised, Juju. I got mine yesterday, but it came via Amazon. So I know Stampin' Up! Is experimenting with some different delivery options because they've been having some issues. And I was really surprised. My informed delivery from the post office said that the post office had it, but Amazon came. All right, so I'm just going to do a little bit of ink blending in here with the green. We'll see how it looks. I know my senior ladies, when we do this tomorrow, they like doing ink blending, so they'll get a kick out of that. And then where the hummingbirds need to go, so this is going to go here, and that's going to be up on dimensional. So let's get those on there right now. And then it looks like our hummingbirds need a couple of dimensionals also. So if these are going to go here, this hummingbird is supposed to go here, and this one here. I have, now you need to kind of tell me what you think might look best. We could do some gorgeous grape around our hummingbirds, or we could do some petal pink. Or we could do more old olive, but I already did that, so I don't really want to do that. We could do some balmy blue. Is it supposed to be balmy blue or coastal cabana? Yeah, I think balmy blue because there's blue in the eyes. What do you think we should do? Some gorgeous grape around here. Some petal pink, which might be all right. Let me find my petal pink. That might be all right because that'll match the wings. Or gorgeous grape. I'd want to try to do it kind of light around here. What do you think? What should we do the little halo in? Petal pink or gorgeous grape? Oh, or balmy blue. My balmy blue needs to be re-inked. So what do you think? Balmy blue, which would pull out the color of the eyes, or gorgeous grape, which will pull out the color of the throat. Let's zoom in a little bit more. What do you think? Got one vote for blue. The blue would probably make it look sky-ish. We could probably do a little bit of both of these. Maybe a little bit of all three, I don't know. Of course, we could try it because we have two other cards to do as well. 2 votes for blue. Alrighty, blue it is. So this one's gonna come here. So we're gonna go and kind of right around here. Do we need a little more intensity? And then this one will come like right about here. And I'm just going to keep this piece of paper there because I don't want to go onto the back side. And normally I would say start blending off the paper, but the hummingbird is going to go right there. So if I get a little glut of color, it's not really going to matter a whole lot. And I'm just starting light and then pressing harder to get more color in. So is that enough color? Sorry, my picture is elongated again. I don't know why it's doing that every day. What do we think? Is that enough? Too much? Maybe we should do a little bit of the petal pink over here and just kind of make it kind of come full circle. Okay, let me close these up so I don't ink myself. All right. I just want to make sure that I cover up the lines that were sketched there. Just a little bit of color kind of makes a big difference. And the directions show that hummingbird far enough on that it kind of conceals that circle. But it almost makes it look like the feet are on the edge of the circle. All right, so let's go ahead and burnish this. And then we have some embellishments somewhere. There they are. The hummingbirds are quite pretty. I really like them too. We get usually about 3 that come to our hummingbird feeder throughout the year. Well, not in the winter, obviously, but when they start coming, we have 3 different ones that we've kind of identified. So we've got, they're actually like glitter inside the embellishments, and then they're kind of almost holographic because you can, I don't know if you can see the variation of the color when it's like a rainbow. It's pretty. So this has just got a small one, a big one around here. And then, oh, it's got a third small one over here. And then another big one. I'm just looking here. So there's 3 here. 1, 2, 3, and then there's 2 there. Oops. That one came off the glue dot. All right, we'll get it. Put that big one there. And then a little one. Well, that's pretty, actually. See, that's the thing with the paper pumpkin kits. Well, any of the kits, really. You get the things and they don't seem like they're going to look very pretty, but I think the color makes a big difference, though. And then if it goes with our envelope, now I added a little bit of the gel pen on here for white, but we could actually do a little bit of petal pink in here. I think I need a little bit more ink. I don't know if that's picking up the color on the camera or not, but it's kind of subtle, but it's getting there. I'll just add a little bit of subtle color there, and then let's add a little bit of the old olive to where the leaves are. There. That adds a little something. Now, whether it's a good something or not is another story, but it adds a little something. Actually, I think it works. So there we go. So from that to that, I think the color made a big difference. Don't you think? Maybe I have those too close. But this card base is smooth. I mean, it looks like it's textured, but it's not. So card number 1, done. Let's see, card number 2. So we're gonna do this one. Just looking at the comments. Awesome. Glad you like it. So we're going to have a beautiful Mother's Day. I don't know if that beautiful goes up on dimensionals. So they gave us mini ones for that. Let's pull some of those out. And we just need 2 of them on beautiful. And then we'll put 2 of them on our little banner. Maybe I should zoom back out a little bit here. Or unzoom. And then our hummingbird needs 3. Now they only gave us little ones, but I'm going to use the big ones just because it's a bigger image. That actually, there might be a reason why that goes up higher. I don't know. It doesn't. Doesn't matter. All right, and then our little square piece. We'll put mini ones in the corners. All right. So even though my mother is gone, I can still give this to someone who is a mother still and wish them a happy Mother's Day. Like I've got a good friend of mine that I could wish her a beautiful Mother's Day. So I think we'll end up doing the same thing with this one, probably adding some color. But again, we need that same stamp. So we're going to do one going this way, one going this way, and then there's another foliage stamp that we're going to use as well. So that again is in the gray. I just wonder, do you think it would look better if we tried it in green? Or should we stick with the gray? And then where did my hummingbird go? What do you think? Should we do it in the gray or the green? I'll do a gray one right next to it so you can kind of see the difference. Because we could still do some ink blending to add some color, or we could just do it with the green. What do you think? Green foliage or gray foliage? And then we'll do some ink blending there too. Green. That's kind of what I was thinking. Because the foliage is normally green anyway. Oh, I have an idea. Green is a really good idea. All right, so let's get this card base back out here. And we're gonna, if the hummingbird goes around there, let's go ahead and put our beautiful on here. I agree, I think it makes the hummingbird pop. So we're gonna put beautiful right on here. And then we're gonna put this. Oh, I guess I didn't spread it out quite far enough. There. I'll just kind of push it under those dimensionals. It'll be good. It's all good. All right, so that's ready. So if this is here, oh, it looks like they actually didn't have it centered. Looks like the flag's just coming a little off the end here. You can still kind of tuck that underneath. All right, so that'll be like this. The hummingbird will be like so, so that it's covering the edge of that banner. So let's go ahead and clean off the stamp again to get the gray off of here. And I'm going to close up the gray because we don't need it. So I'm going to use Old Olive. And let's look at the instructions. So that one's going to go about like so. And I should have my piercing mat under here, but I didn't. If you let your stamp sit there for a few seconds longer, it'll intensify the color a little bit. And then this one's going to go here. That's pretty. And then we have this imagery. Now we could do that in gray, or should we do that in the same, in the green still? So that's going to come here. So that's going to camouflage where the overlay is, or the overlap. And that's going to kind of go like so. And then this is going to come here. Green or gray. Let's hold off on that for just a second. Now, the idea I was having is I brought in a blender pen. So you can pull in, I should have probably done this right away. You can pull in some of the color from your stamp. Now you want to be careful that you don't like over distress your paper because you don't want it to get pilled. But all you have to do is pull in some of the color. Can you see that subtle color change or not? So now the leaves are getting filled in just lightly with the green. Now we could also do some water painting if we wanted, but I think with just a blending brush it'll work fine for just a subtle bit of color. And all I'm doing is that I'm kind of picking up from that outline and the vein in the middle of those leaves and adding some color. I'll hold it a little closer to the camera in just a second so you can see the difference. It's very subtle. But hopefully you can see it. So hopefully you can see where this has the green shading. I might have missed that one. Let's try to pick up a little bit more from here. So you can see where those just have a subtle coloring and these are still just outlines. See how that just changes the appearance just a little bit? So I'm just gonna kind of quickly do the rest of these. I think my gals tomorrow will like this too. I don't think this is a technique I've done with them before, so I have a lot of the blender pens, so it should work. Oh, I forgot to mention too when I was talking about the virtual album retreat. If anybody does purchase that, and if you're shopping with me, I will also send you one of the journaling pens. And if you're on my team, just let me know that you ordered your online kit from yourself, your virtual album retreat. Order it from yourself, of course, because you want it for your quarterly minimums. But I'll still send you the blender pen or the journaling pens. All right. So to get these clean, if you've got a lot of color on there, you can just kind of take them off. So Allie, you think we should do that other piece in gray, huh? Let's do it. And I just wonder maybe I want to stamp off even. Nah, we'll keep it full strength. Oops, I got my finger in it. And then that's going to go like so. But I want to add some color to that. So I think we're going to do a little blending brush work here. Just kind of in the center for the green. And then let's do some of that pretty in pink with the blender pen. And we're just going to pick up some color that way. How fun is that? Some of that's not even going to show, but now the blender pens are not super white, so the color is going to stay pretty saturated until you get some of it worked off the tip. So it'll get lighter once you get some of that ink off of there. What do you think of that? And then let's add just a little bit of the pretty in pink there, because I think those might be floral pieces in the centers. So I didn't want to use my alcohol blends because I didn't want it to leach through on the inside of the card. So when we're just doing some ink blending and a little bit with the blender pen, because it's not alcohol, it doesn't leak all the way through. All right, so let's go ahead and put these pieces on. Oh, I should probably cover this first. And we'll see how it looks. Now, the other thing is, do we need to add a little bit more color? I think that looks really good. Do we need to add any maybe gorgeous grape around the edges or not? Do you think that's sufficient the way it is? Excuse me. So here is this one. Hopefully I'm not getting it too close. So there's the intended design, and here we've got it in Technicolor. But I just don't know if we should have some other color blended on there, or maybe we could do, there was a little splatter stamp. The instructions didn't have us using it, but I think it might be kind of fun. There's the gray. Adds just a little bit more texture to the card. There, all right, so we better put the hummingbird on, right? Otherwise the card won't really be finished. And again, we're going to put it so that the banner edges are concealed. And then we need some embellishments on that as well. So it looks like there's just, oh, it looks like they put 5 on that one too. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. 1, 2. Beautiful. Plain Technicolor. Highlighted with a beautiful envelope. Card number 2, done. It's amazing what just a little bit of extra color does to the card. So I guess you could say these are my alternatives because they're not quite following the instructions. All right, so the last one, let's take a look. So we've got 3 little hummingbirds. We're going to put 2 dimensionals on each of those. Where did my little pack of dimensionals go? I had a little pack. What did I do with them? Oh well, I guess I'll grab another one. It'll turn up in a minute when I don't need it anymore. So this is really a nice quick kit because you don't have to worry about getting the sentiments exactly how you want them, I guess. We're still putzing around with it a little bit, but that's all right. And then the thank you, I'm going to use large ones for the most part. Maybe those were my dimensionals over there. So this one's got quite a few on here. So one down there. A couple in the middle. One up there. And the full-size one is like just about too big. And there's some half ones on the edge. I think I probably cut these down for a class. All right. So then we're gonna do, okay, oh, this is a landscape one. So we're gonna do the grass, and that again has it in green. And I think I'm gonna start in the middle. It looks like the instructions just have it on here 4 times, but there's separation in between each of those stamps, if you can see that. And I don't know that I want the separation in there, so we're going to make it go end to end because I think that'll look better. So we're going to start in the middle-ish. And this actually lines up pretty nicely so that it looks like a continuous design. And then let's just bring this over here. So it can go off the edge of the page. I think I missed some ink over here, but it's all right. All right, nice. And then let's do our blender pen again with some of the Pretty in Pink. And I'm just kind of scribbling on here because I think I want it to just look a little bit more abstract. And then we'll do some green. And I think we'll do some Gorgeous Grape too on the tall ones. Maybe those are like hollyhock or something. I think those come in purple, right? Did you get the Wonderful Scene add-on die set? The paper pumpkin one? Yes, the Beautiful Blooms? No, Wonderful Scene. Was that for this paper pumpkin kit? Or does this just coordinate with another die set? I don't know that if it was a Hummingbirds, I don't think I did. I got a lot of color on that one. That's all right. So let's do some green on here. Oh, it's listed as new. No, I probably didn't get it yet then. What am I doing? I don't want this. I want green. I do not like putting ink in the wells of my stamp sets. If you like doing that, by all means, feel free, but it messes with my OCD. You'd never know it because our house has too much stuff in it, but I do like things neat. And again, I'm not worried about making these perfect because I'm just adding these random bits of color. And you could probably use a watercolor brush instead. Oops, I missed a few leaves there, I guess. Because a watercolor brush would probably work as well, but I wanted something that's not quite as wet because I don't want it to saturate the card base, especially because these kits a lot of times will have card bases that are not quite as thick. So I don't like to have stuff seep through because I don't want to put more layers on the inside on the side that's not customarily written on. Okay. I'll have to take a few of these tomorrow for the class. And then I think we're going to do a little bit of Gorgeous Grape. So keep these three colors out. What do we need? The gray, the grape, and I thought I had blue somewhere too. Didn't I have balmy blue? Oh, there. All right. We'll take all of those colors. And then let's just add some Gorgeous Grape. And I'm just kind of, what do they call that? Speckling? I'm just kind of dotting it on, so it's not necessarily a solid color. So these cards would have gone together a lot quicker had I not gotten sidetracked with adding color, but I think the color really steps them up a little bit. And I missed a little bit of green right there. Okay. All right, so let's finish putting this together now. So we'll put the thank you on first, because the hummingbirds will go on top of that. I think I'm going to put it off center a little bit. The sample has it in the center, but I want to have two of my hummingbirds over this way because this one shows that hummingbird kind of going away, but I think it should be facing. So I'm going to change up where my hummingbirds sit. I guess we can put that one over there. I just want to make sure it doesn't go above the letters, I guess. All right, and then we need some embellishments there as well, and we'll be done. So this one uses 5 of them also. Okay. Well, I kind of changed up where the placement was, so do one. I don't know. And then a little one can go like I was gonna, there we go. We'll just make that be one of the flowers. I like that font also. All right, so here's another one. So we could actually colorize some of the flowers on the envelope, I suppose. Where did my green go? Maybe not all of them, but maybe just a few. That's kind of fun. With that gel pen look to border them. That's kind of fun. Where'd my scratch go? And then we'll do a little bit of the gorgeous grape. Stippling, that's it, stippling. Well, thanks for popping in, Juju. Appreciate the company. I'm just about done here anyway. Happy Wednesday, right? No, Thursday. Boy, this week has just flown by. Because my Thoughtful Thursday is this afternoon. Yuta, thanks for hanging out. Sleep well. And then we'll do a little bit of Pretty in Pink. Which one did I use? That one. Just to add a little bit of color there. There. I kind of like that. Well, thank you, Allie. That's as alternative as we're getting for this one because I'll be using up my kits tomorrow or later today for my Thoughtful Thursday group. All right. So here's the last one. The sample. Pretty much black and white except for those hummingbirds, and then our version, and then with a little colorization on that envelope, so the color won't interfere with wherever you write the address or if you put a sticker or something on there. Very cool. I think it turned out pretty good, and I'm not saying that because it was my creativity, it was just a kit, but it's amazing what just a little extra color can do. So here we go, our 3 cards. Can we see all those? I hope so. So I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate the company. Allie, I'm sure you will do some gorgeous alternatives. Oh, I love doing that where you do making your own background for 4. Now, when you do your 4s, do you do it down the center and cut it so that there's white space? Or do you stamp the whole thing to make your own designer series paper? I like doing the 4 quadrants and cutting them apart. I think that's kind of fun. Make sure I've got all the colors that I need. Blending brushes I need. I need a couple of extra blocks. I think I'm good to go for my class. So that was kind of fun. You helped me make my samples with your suggestions. So thank you very much. Yes to both. Tonight you did the 4. Very cool. All right, I'm going to call it a night, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. And until next time, happy crafting. Good night, Allie.